Hello and welcome back for part two of Tending to Your Roots with Devotion. My name is Amy and I will be your guide through this. I am the face behind the sacred frequency. I am an embodied movement instructor and a somatic energy guide over at my baby, Clear Channel Movement. And yeah, let's get into it. If you did not watch the part one video, go check that out first. So, we're on this three-part journey of really, like yesterday, or part one rather, was really all about consciously releasing energy that you do not want to carry with you any further into 2026. As I record this, it is, what's the date today? I think it is January 19th, 2026. So we are very early into the new year. And again, I said this yesterday, or I said in the first video, like, I know the new year is in the spring, but the reasoning behind this behind tending to your roots is to utilize the energy of the 1 year, as we just said adios to the 9 year. And it's about leaving the energetics that you're ready to release, but also carrying the wisdom that you've gained through the whole last year. So it's not, you don't want it to be like all for nothing, whether you had a really trying year um, or, you did a lot of celebrating, or something in between, right? You want to be always carrying the wisdom, never starting from zero. Like, yes, a fresh, clean slate, but also like building, building upon the next type of thing. So today, I want to really get into who you want to embody this year. If you could choose really any type of embodiment, what does she feel like? What does she do? What does she create? How does she carry herself? And then, of course, like, this is more so about the inner environment, but it's also so fun to play with, like, what does she look like? Like, are you wanting a new hairstyle? Do you want to switch up the way that you dress? Maybe you want to be more well spoken, or or really in tune with your body. There's like endless ways to cultivate a new, like, updated self concept. And it's not necessarily about like changing from night and day. Maybe, you're really happy with where you're at, and that is awesome. But there's always room for growth, right? You know, like, for example, for myself, like, in terms of meditating and breath work and like movement practices, like, I do these practices every day. Like, it's something I need to do. Like, I just know it's part of my being at this point. I've been meditating since I don't know, a long time. My mid 20s. I started meditating when I was in the height of panic disorder, addiction. I was just a mess. That's a story for another time. I'll actually am going to be sharing that on the channel. Pretty soon, maybe like in the next month or so. But I digress. So, you know, for my own practices, it's not necessarily about making them better per se, because they're very much grounded within me for good reason. But maybe for this, I would like to try some new, different types of meditations or some new ways to, new styles of breath work, or, just like branching out, growing, always growing and expanding the soul and, the experience that we have. So grab some paper if you don't have some yet, and just pen, paper, and begin to actually, before we start that, hold up, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's tune in. Let's tune in and take some conscious breaths together. So if you need to pause and go grab some paper, definitely pen and paper. It's very powerful utilizing, your hand muscles in a way that is tangible. Like, of course, you're using your hand muscles if you're writing, like tapping in notes, typing in notes, but there's something about like the feel of the paper and the feel of the pen or pencil in your hand, and the act of doing something in the material realm that is super potent. So don't skip that part. All right, when you're ready, again, also, if you're driving, come back to this. Or if you're cooking, doing whatever, just come back to this when you have some time to yourself, some peace and quiet. Well, sit down or lay down. And you can do this standing too. And close your eyes as you feel comfortable. And we'll just start by taking 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. And as you're exhaling, allowing for your muscles to soften around your eyes and your jaw, your shoulders, hands, all the way down to your toes. Just like releasing any energy, surface level. Good. And as you're in this already a more relaxed state, just tuning in, opening up to the potentials that are truly limitless. Good. And allow yourself to get excited. Like, what do you want to call in? Who is she? What version of yourself? Begin to write when you're ready. It could be something you want to do, sure, but also really how you want to feel. Like when you wake up in the morning, how do you want to feel? When you are creating, how does that feel? How do you desire to feel? Like on a emotional level, on a mental level? Like, what is your mind like? What is the environment of your mental body like? How are you talking to yourself? How are you thinking about yourself? This is so incredibly important because this is where it all starts. in the mind, connecting to your beliefs, connecting to the power of your imagination, and literally conjuring this up, this version of yourself up. So the mental body and the emotional body, how do you want to handle your emotions, right? And be able to kind of ride the waves of life, the good, the bad, the hard, the heartbreaking, and the most exquisite joy. No. How do you show up for that? How do you show up for your body? How are you moving your body? How are you caring for your physical vessel? And then energetically, how what are you tolerating? What are you tolerating energetically? What type of vibe are you showing up for yourself and for the people around you? What places that feels like home energetically? How can you incorporate more of that into your life? That type of energy. What kind of new energy do you want to experience? And how can you how would it feel to have really like strong energetic boundaries and really good energetic hygiene? So those are the things I invite you to write about. And so pause, take as much time as you need. Really want you to focus on those four main bodies. Because in doing so, you get a very well-rounded approach. So pause and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. I trust you have your list and definitely keep that someplace where you can see it every day. Perhaps on the altar you may or may not have started to build. So I definitely suggest doing that. Creating an altar, in my teachings I always say like the altar is you. The altar is your body. It is your being. It is your whole, like your essence. The whole of you is an altar unto itself, right? And that's a lot of the work that we do in at the Sacred Frequency and at Clear Channel Movement. And but I also think that creating an altar is so beautiful to do. It's just this material reminder, like a mirror of your inner on the outer. So you can put anything you want on your altar for you for 2026, this version of you. You can even put the list that you wrote, put it on the altar. You can even fold it up or put some like choice things that you want to add and put that on there too. Tape it on your mirror, just make it so you can see it and remind yourself like this is you beginning to like formulate your identity and in your self concept, right? That if you did it the way we just went through, working in the mental body, the emotional body, physical, and energetic, this is a very solid, rooted way to go about it. So, what we'll do from here is we're going to do a somatic activation to really tap into your body and your energy and begin to like really feel it in your body. Ah, I love somatic activations. So, for this one, I definitely suggest laying down, and it won't be too long. So maybe we'll go for about 8 more minutes or so. But just make sure that you have time to yourself for this. And when you're ready, if you're not already, lay down, get cozy, grab a blanket if you want. Maybe have your journal or more paper in case you feel called to write after the experience. And we'll begin by just closing your eyes, coming into like a shavasana type position. And we'll start by taking 3 deep breaths again. Any particular way is fine. Just softening around your eyes and your jaw and your hands. Good. And take a moment to set an intention to connect to this version of you that you are beginning to embody more and more as you attune to the energy of her. And then, as you're ready, bring your awareness to the part of your body that is laying down. Maybe you're on a yoga mat, maybe you're on your bed, the floor, however you are. Just take a moment to connect with this part of your body. Imagine that with each inhale you take, you're growing a bit lighter. And then with each exhale, growing heavier in the sense that you're more connected to the floor or mat and bed, but also like more deeply into the earth. Good. See yourself growing these beautiful energetic roots down into Gaia. Knowing you are held and always supported as you grow and grow into this new, exciting version of you. Good. And now bring your awareness to the very tips of your toes and take a deep breath in on both feet, both sets. Breathing just in through your nose and exhale is going to be through your nose or from your mouth, either way. And then bring your breath and your awareness up your body, past your feet to your heels and ankles. And on your next breath, travel up your shins and calves to your knees. Pausing here. And then coming up the length of your body past your thighs, pausing at your hips. And on your next breath, coming up to your womb space, breathing deeply in to this area and your sacral spine or sacrum. And then travel up past your belly and your ribs and up your back, all the way to your heart. And exhale, pausing here. And then coming up to your shoulders on an inhale. And then as you exhale, travel down the length of your arms, past your elbows and wrists to your fingertips. Inhale, come back on up to your shoulders and then to your upper back and your neck. Just bringing energy here, awareness. And the next breath, moving over your beautiful face and your head. Exhale down the length of your hair. Good. And now just notice how your body feels. Hopefully, feeling alive and maybe even tingly. There's no wrong way to feel here. Just be open to the sensations and then begin to tune into that feeling of her, this version of yourself that you are consciously and decidedly beginning to embody, connecting to this version of yourself. She already exists, she's waiting for you. And imagine, if you will, these sensations, the materialization of you as her, and feel into the sensations of your body. Where do they originate? It could be in your hips or in your heart or in your belly with butterflies, and just simply observe and allow for yourself to feel the pleasure of the arrival of her, of you. How good does it feel to be taking these steps? And see now if you'd like to begin to expand these feelings out a bit further in your body and keep breathing through this. And just note, maybe this feels expansive and like the energy wants to spread out through your body, or maybe it's not yet ready for that, and that's perfect too. It's all perfect, it's all good. This is just the beginning. Good. And we'll just take one more deep breath into this place within you, whether you're expanding or you're staying with the energy wherever it is locally within your field and body. One nice deep breath in through your nose And then exhale as a sigh. If it feels good to do, spread it like a starburst through your body. Exhale this long, luxurious sigh. Good. Now bring your hands to your heart. Mm, Take a moment to tune into the frequency of gratitude and self love. Good. Doing it with one more nice deep breath. We'll close the session. Beautiful. And we're all done with the activation. And just know that you can tune into that feeling within you whenever, wherever. It's always accessible for you to tune into that frequency and those bodily sensations. And in fact, I highly suggest that you begin to do this on a daily basis. And it could be 1 minute long, or it could be a longer practice, like when you wake up in the morning before you're fully awake. That's a great time. Before, as you're falling asleep, that's a great time. Really, any time is a great time, but those two particular, you're in a certain state that um, in which you're more open, your subconscious is more open to begin to attune to that. So I don't want to say too much more while you are kind of tuned in. So your homework is to finish your altar and maybe take some of the characteristics that you wrote about and maybe, put some words to remind you, like sticky notes on your mirror, in your bathroom, or in your wallet, or in your car, just to like remember, or even write, like, I am her. I am her. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. And you have a beautiful rest of your day or night wherever you are on this exquisite planet that we live on. I'm sending you a lot of love.